Everyone. It's nice to hear. It's nice to be here. Today is our first workshop about making Telegram mini apps. First, let me introduce myself and our speakers. My name is Vladimir Alefman. I am DevRel manager at Ton Foundation. And Chris and Vlad, our speakers today, they are founders of a cool startup, Telemetry, where they build ecosystem product for us, or products for us. So yeah, these guys have also received support from Ton Accelerator. And they're here today to help us to learn because they know lots about creating mini apps. And I guess they are excited to share their knowledge with us. Before we start, before we start, I want to tell a few things to keep in mind. Recording. Don't worry if you miss something. We are recording everything, and you can watch it later. If you got questions, drop them in the comments. We love questions and want to answer as many as we can. And this reason why our last workshop will be all about questions. We will answer the ones you have asked during our workshop series. So make sure to ask a lot. This is start, yes, Chris and Vlad have a lot of cool stuff today, and let's get started and have some fun learning together. Chris, I give you a word.
Thank you so much, Vladimir. So my name is Chris. I'm one of the founders of Telemetry, and I'm here with my tech lead, Vlad Arbatov. We'll share a bit of background about us. I worked at Facebook before with the data department. I have a lot of experience with Web3 and Web2 startups, and we've been working within Telegram ecosystem for the last year and a half. I think Vlad has even more experience with Telegram as an ecosystem, and throughout these times, we have seen a lot of great apps, web apps, and bots within Telegram, and we built a couple of those ourselves. We help people build, so we know ins and outs of the ecosystem. And since you're going to be building within this ecosystem, we decided that it would be a great idea for us to share the small things and big things that we've learned along the way. So, Vlad, if you have time, can you also introduce yourself, and then we'll go to the next slide.
Yeah, hi everyone. Of course I don't have time. Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather. Hello everyone. And yes, I worked previously on some of the startups and some of the enterprise companies, and I have some experience. I have, to say the least, some experience with working in a Ton ecosystem previously, and now I'm mastering basically everything that is related to Telegram mini applications. And there's been some interesting parts, and this is the goal of our workshops, to share it with you. And today we're going to talk about the UI, and I'll try to share some things with you that might be useful.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So now as we begin, I'll outline the next 3 workshops for you. We'll have workshops today, tomorrow, and on Wednesday. Vladimir will correct me if I'm wrong. He's not correcting me, so I guess I'm right. Perfect. Thank you so much. So within these workshops, we are going to talk about front-end development, the unique things within the Telegram ecosystem, within the workshops tomorrow and the day after, we're going to talk about Telegram Cloud optimization, using it as your database, using it as a caching solution, and then we're going to talk about sharing. I believe these workshops would be very important for anyone who just begins working with Telegram mini apps or just Telegram apps, because this ecosystem is very unique, and a lot of people, a lot of developers who are just starting off, they think that this ecosystem mimics either web development or mimics mobile development. It's neither. I mean, technically it's web, but it has its own unique set of features and interactions with Telegram as a platform that you need to be aware of, because knowing those interactions would make it significantly easier for you to build an app that resonates with users, with good user experience, with good user interface. So within this workshop, our aim is to provide you with basics of understanding user interface and the best rules for user interface design for your Telegram web app. We're going to start off with that. And then in the second half of the workshop, as we wrap it up, Vlad will walk you through Coda UI. It's one of the main instruments for the adaptive UI design that would work great on both iOS devices and Android devices. So without getting too much ahead of us, let's start. So as I mentioned, Telegram mini apps ecosystem is very different from mobile ecosystem in a way that an average time for the user session within Telegram mini app is significantly lower, and you need to keep that in mind because this is very important. If you're looking at a website or if you're looking at a mobile app, people already committed. They already opened the website. They already downloaded the mobile app. And those mobile apps or websites, they don't really block your users from using other apps. So if you opened, let's say, booking.com, either as a website, either as an app, you can always easily switch to the other things that you were doing before that. That is not the case for mini apps within Telegram. Since mini app blocks the entirety of access to all the other features of Telegram Messenger, it means that an average time for the session is significantly lower because users want to do something very quick and get the hell out of there because they don't have access to their channels, they don't have access to their messages. So therefore, whenever you're approaching the design, you always need to keep these usual user patterns in mind. It's very important for you to ensure that the call to action is very clear, and it's very clear the things you require your user to do. Otherwise, the user will either get distracted or will close your app. We'll go through the cases in the next slides, but I'll just tease you with this. We saw a lot of cases where people, we were actually working with one of our customers. They spent $10,000 on Telegram ads, and they secured less than 10% of the users as returning customers. So 90% of the users, after spending 10 grand, did not come back to their app. The reason is because the team did not understand the value of designing their app for shorter user sessions. So one of the main rules is obviously making it streamlined. So you don't have to, please don't force users to connect the wallet if they're not returning. You want to show the meat of the app from the get-go. Therefore, as you can look at this chart, you see if you rely users to use your app frequently, and especially if they need to accomplish challenging tasks that take time, probably mini apps is not the best way for you. However, if you're looking either at infrequent use, so for example, booking tickets, booking an Uber somewhere, then a mini app would be a great choice. Reservations, awesome choice. Ordering food, great one. Maybe e-commerce apps, very good. And all those things that people use, but they don't need to finish something complicated, or they don't use it that often. That's your sweet spot, and whenever you're designing the app, you need to hit that sweet spot. So let's compare a couple of things. I chose Telebook. That's the team that got the second place on the Telegram mini app design contest. And let's compare Booking.com. Booking.com, they have mobile app, and that's what we're comparing. So if you compare the differences, it becomes apparent that for Telegram mini app ecosystem, you need to design an app as to ensure that the user is not distracted with the interactions. If you look at the Telebook, they have literally one button, three options to choose from. Compared to Booking.com, you have like stays, you have car rentals, you have taxi. It's like a regular booking app, and that's not what you want to do, because each second the user figures out the things they need to press is the second you have less for them to go through your funnel. Because unlike with mobile apps, where an average time for the session can be 30 seconds and minute, 2 minutes long, or up to, or even longer, the mini apps, you're looking at sessions of length like 5-10 seconds. So you need to capture their attention. You need to move the users to the next step of the funnel as fast as possible. Otherwise, you're going to lose them, and you're never going to see revenue that those users could have brought to your mini app. So please make sure that you're paying attention to that. So if we look at this example, obviously, Booking.com was more sophisticated app, way more challenging, way feature rich. So it obviously goes into the app category. And if you're looking at Telebook, it's a simple, straightforward booking process. 3 clicks to book a place anywhere else, anywhere around the world. So super straightforward. That's why it would be a great spot. It hits the sweet spot for Telegram mini app design. So yeah, as I've mentioned, there are a couple of challenges with Telegram mini app design that you need to keep in mind. First of all, shorter sessions. That's obvious. We already covered that. Then new entry points. This is also crucially important, and that is why you should probably tune in as well for our third workshop on Wednesday. We'll be going into more details about entry points there, but I'll tease you with this. A lot of developers we saw making the same mistake over and over again. They do not understand that Telegram is nothing like all the other social medias that they work with. Telegram does not have a unified feed of Facebook. It does not have the unified feed of Instagram. There is no centralized place where you can just put your app and people will see it. No, Telegram is a messenger. It's decentralized by its nature, and you need to design your products in a way that makes it easier for users to share those products with their friends. So whenever you're designing, you always need to think about communities, about sharing, about messages, because otherwise you will end up wasting significant budget for Telegram ads without seeing anything in return. If you use examples like Notcoin, ClickerBoost, the Pixels, they are all using community and community-centered design and sharing features to grow. And that's exactly what you need to build into your product if you want to see traction down the line. Finally, lack of tools. That is also a growing point of this young ecosystem, is that there are very few centralized tools that can ensure that users see the familiar design for them. I'll explain. Based on our research, Telegram users are very hesitant about going to any other place but Telegram. So if you can make your design look as native to Telegram as possible, as native to the ecosystem of the user as possible, the higher conversion rates you would see. So if you're working with Android users, obviously it would be a great choice to ensure that you have a material design within your design patterns. If you're working with iOS users, please ensure that you have iOS design, because the native solutions convert significantly better. Please don't forget to use Telegram themes. So when the user opens up your app, please don't forget to pull the theme, adapt to the key colors the user is using, or the dark light mode of Telegram. We'll go over it in the next slide, so stay tuned for that. Now we're going to go through a couple of examples of apps, and I'll explain what makes them good. It will give you a robust framework to understand and assess your own app. And the slides are going to be available, the recording is going to be available, so you'll be able to go through it yourself. So first of all, let's take Telebook. We already worked with it. If you look at this example, the design is incredibly clean and clear. The call to action at every step is apparent, and that's exactly what you want to do. If you're working with smart contracts, then please ensure that the users can test out your features and understand what you're all about without having to go through struggles of connecting the wallet or doing anything else. For this example, I introduced EVA. EVA protocol is one of the best lending protocols on Ton, and it's very important for you to analyze the way they engage the onboarding of their users. So the first time you open EVA app, they obviously walk you through the onboarding process, and you don't have to connect the wallet, as you can see on the screenshot. And that's one of the benefits. If the user wants to simply play around and walk through the app, please let them. We saw, in my experience, we saw a couple of cases, a couple of apps that blocked the content from being accessed because the user did not connect the wallet, and they suffered. They suffered a lot. They suffered through very low conversion rates, very low interest and return rate from the users, because the users simply struggled to understand what the app was all about, and they did not want to connect the wallet to a random app. So please, whenever you're designing solutions within this hackathon, keep that in mind, because you want your users to be able to understand what the hell is going on with your app. Okay, now let's also go to the next example. Oh, that's a great example. Phantom. I love guys from Phantom, but I think if you look at these examples, it becomes clear that the interface, I know that the guys are working on the redesign as we speak, and they're working hard, great team. But if you look at the interface, it's very overwhelming for the new user. If you just open their mini app for the first time, seeing the interface on the right, seeing the interface on the left, it's very confusing. It throws you off because it's not clear for you what you as a user need to do to proceed. The call to action is not there, and this interface would work great, would work very, very well for the web design. But if we're looking at mini apps, it's not that. It's obviously not that, because it requires a lot of complicated actions, and you also expect the user to come back to the app. And as we've seen on the slide, a couple of slides ago, it's not the best combination. So I know that the team is currently working on redesigning the interface, and they're going to streamline it significantly. So hopefully that's going to be even better than now. Right. So I will give you just an overview of the entry points that would help you understand how the users are going to access your app and how you can activate and reactivate it. So please pay attention, because this is actually very important. So first of all, obviously you have Telegram ads or peer-to-peer paid promos. So usually with Telegram ads, you can lead the users only to your bot. With peer-to-peer promos, you can lead them directly to web apps. So for those, you obviously need to ensure that everything is clear, the user understands what's going on, because if you throw too much at them, they're going to get overwhelmed. Great. Now, sharing features. Telegram as a messenger, I mentioned before, relies heavily on sharing. And if you can bake in community building and sharing, you can grow very quickly. We saw a case of the Pixels who grew to 2 million users in a couple of weeks just because they organized communities and they encourage users to band into communities and work within communities, and that always shows wonders. Then obviously you have channel anchors. So you can reactivate the users either through posts within your channel, that's obvious, or through stories. So every channel, if you post a story, you add your web app in the description, the users can get reactivated. It's always good. Always works pretty well. And then finally, bot activation, reactivation. It's not as efficient as your essentially last resort. It's reactivation through notifications. But please be mindful of Telegram flood limits, because you don't want to spam the users. Otherwise, you'll lose the access to your bot. So please be careful with that. Now, as I wrap up my half of the presentation, we're going to go to Vlad, who is going to share more about Konsta UI. I will give a brief introduction, and then we'll go directly to working with code. So one of the issues, as I've mentioned, even through these apps, you can see that they all look different. And sometimes, sure, you want a unique and different looking app, but most of the time you want the app to look as native as possible within Telegram, because if the user does not feel like he's getting moved somewhere, he will treat your app as part of Telegram. You will see a significantly higher conversion rates, and that's what you care about. Konsta UI allows you with simple setup, with very simple setup, create an adaptive interface for Android and iOS and web applications. So you don't have to exactly worry about how your app looks like for different design themes. And that's a clear benefit, because right now, besides this, there are very few solutions that can help you with that. There is no native libraries that would handle the adaptive design between the systems. So Konsta UI gives you a lot of flexibility in design and very low entry point into this entire ecosystem, because it's simple import and you can start going. And I hope Vlad is going to take the lead now and share more.
Yeah, I hope as well. Yeah, I saw a comment in the chat like buy Konsta. You don't have to buy Konsta. First of all, Konsta is absolutely free, and then I would say that there are actually I wouldn't say there are no tools and kits besides Konsta that you can use, but there are actually a little few, right? So a very few. So Konsta is one of the top choices for the front-end development for Telegram applications. All right, I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share my entire screen because I'm going to demonstrate several applications, if that's fine.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
All right, looks horrifying.
A bit trippy, yeah.
Yeah, that's trivial. All right, so Konsta UI is, since we're talking about the front end, only the front end today, we're going to focus only on that. And the Konsta UI is built on top of the Tailwind CSS. This is one of the dominating frameworks right now on the market. Tailwind CSS. This is the I think this is the main choice for almost all modern development in terms of the styling of what you're doing. And as Chris previously said, this is a very convenient tool to use with when you try to implement something that looks like the extension of the Telegram, right? So not something that is unnatural or inconvenient, but something that is straightforward from the Telegram interface. And for that, you would like to use native components for both iOS and Android platforms. Well, there are probably some other platforms like Windows, but I don't really know if there are any UI kits for those. So
No.
Konsta UI, as I said, it's literally free. You don't have to pay anything to use the Tailwind CSS or Konsta UI. And of course, this is JavaScript based library, and you can use it with modern frameworks like React, Vue, Svelte, right, and more, of course. So if you are using Next.js, and we are using Next.js for almost all our applications right now, this will also apply because it's mostly front end. So and it's built to give you all the necessary abilities, like right out of the box, right? So iOS theme, material theme, dark mode, and color theme. And the color theme is important. Sorry, color theme is important because when developing the Telegram applications, we also want to use user-preferred color schemes, and this gives us the ability to use that. So basically, what we want to do in our JavaScript application, in our React application, we want to obviously do npm iConsta, and if you're using other package managers, so it would be easily to install Konsta as well. You can just browse it in the documentation. And what happens is, let's see, right? So your main goal is to obviously npm iConsta, and then you will include Konsta React library with different components that you will need in your particular components, in your particular view, etc. So this is what I'm now showing is one of the simplest and basic applications that we made. This was basically the first application we used Konsta UI in, and so in your index, in your app, in something like that, that represents your main application file, you'll just need to call the main function of Konsta called app. And from that, you will need to wrap your application layout within this app function, this app component from Konsta, while assigning theme as theme. Obviously, you can call it whatever you want. Why we're initiating the application with these parameters? Well, this is for our main goal to present user with either material design in the application or iOS design without doing anything else in addition. So I'm in this example, I'm using the React device detect package to understand what user is browsing our application from, what is the client that user is using to view our application at the moment. And I'm only calling the is Android function because we only need like two clients, right? Two operating systems, iOS and Android. This library actually allows you to to target a lot more of clients and browsers and types of operating systems, and it all has it in the documentation. But since we are only targeting 2, we need to check against Android, or you can prefer iOS, of course. There are virtually limitless ways you can understand which client your user is on, but I prefer this library because it's the easiest. So what I do is I just check against Android, and if it's Android, I show material design, and if it's iOS, I of course show iOS design. And I do it like with, you can see I basically do it with two lines of code, right? So assigning Android to material and then calling it inside our wrapper to our application. And what it does, it understands what client type, what iOS I'm using, and automatically shows all the components that I've chosen in the sufficient way. For example,
can you show the result? Yeah.
I will. I will. For example, here is the page that I think, yes, this is the page that I'm currently rendering, and you can see that I will see actually some of the more in-depth things, but yeah, right now you can see that this is using the components that look quite like the iOS components, right? Because I'm checking only against Android. So since this is the macOS environment, I'm getting the iOS interface. So let's actually try and switch these things, right, and see what we can get if the application thinks that we are on. Yeah, it changed instantly, right? So this looks more like the material design instead what we've just seen. Right, iOS again. That's simple, right? And then what this is about, like the changing the iOS theme itself. Then if we look in the Konsta UI, if we look at some of the components, those are pretty easy to import as well. I'll show you right now. So on the page that you are currently seeing here, we are using basically what Konsta UI gives us out of the box. So we are using block titles for titles of the lists. We are using list items for listing the items in the list, right? So this is the block title details. Let's see. Details block title, and then we initiate a list input in this case. So this is the special components to show operating system specific inputs, right? This is the way how we assign those things to look the way you want. You don't really need to customize a lot of things to present your design the way it extends the native interface, right? And this all works out of the box with very simple code. One more thing that I want to show you here. So this, first of all, this looks quite strange, right? There's nothing on top, for example, and this is because I'm showing this outside of the Telegram context, right? So when you launch the TMA application, the TM application inside the Telegram, you can use some of the APIs that Telegram provides to show, first of all, to show user preferred color schemes and preferences, right? And then to show some of the controls that are only exist inside the Telegram. For example, here in the Telegram, you would see a very much distinct button that is native to.
I can share the screen if you want to. I will show it.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, awesome. Let me share the screen. Give me a second. Let's do, first of all, let's do the Telegram. So look at this. So we're using it within one of our apps. As you can see, the key color that I'm using, that I'm using is blue. So we expect our app to have blue color. Let's go through it. And as you can see, we chose the main color blue for the logo, and the button is also blue.
Yeah, you've just seen this page, and this page without the Telegram context, and this is within the Telegram context.
Yes. So and give me a second. I will share one more thing. I'll share the way it looks from the web as well, because in the web I have different color scheme. So that's going to be very useful.
Yeah, just show it how it looks, and I will show in the code how you can set it.
Yeah, of course. Share the screen. As you can see, the color scheme here is purple. And as you can see, the app immediately adapts to the colors that we chose, including the button. You can see that the difference between Mac OS desktop and web desktop is also obvious. It automatically adapts. Telegram helps you with that. And
I'm not sure you're sharing anything. At least I don't see what you're sharing.
For real? Yeah, my bad. Oh wait, give me a second. I'll try to reshare. Share screen. Share. Okay, you should be able to see. At least, at least I see. Okay, so as you can see, the context is purple. The color scheme is purple, and as you can see over here, it immediately adapts to the purple color. So yeah, that's going to be useful for you if you want to create really adaptable themes.
And exactly, and you saw the button that exists only in the Telegram context on the bottom of the page as well. So how to do it? How to do it? Let's see.
Share the screen and let's go for it.
Really? Okay, thanks. Just one second. Okay, all right. So first of all, the components, the main button, for example, right? So there's a neat, very clear and very understandable Telegram mini apps API that you can utilize, for example, to show some of the components. You can in this example, main button. The main button is something that you want to use most frequently, and that is the button that you can see on the bottom of the screen within the Telegram context. So it's actually up to you how you handle the display of the main button based on some conditions, based on anything basically, or you can show it always. So this is basically the Telegram API that is pretty much standard. So in this case, in case of our sign up process within the application, we are doing some validation to show this button. So we are using some validation functions. So we're not using it all the time. But basically, what you want to do is you just want to call the Telegram web main button show to just display this button, and then you can customize it to show the text and the content however you want. So this is mainly the way to handle the Telegram components. But in terms of styling those components, there is also Telegram provided API for styling things. And here we're using it the easiest way via the CSS properties. And you can see that inside the CSS, you can call Telegram specific variables through using the wired TG theme, and then anything that Telegram allows you to customize. So this is text color, secondary backgrounds color, main backgrounds color, like hint color, button color, etc. There are a lot of available variables inside the API. You can browse it inside the Telegram API documentation. So since we are in this context, in my context, this is not a Telegram context. Since we're not getting anything from from the Telegram, we are showing all the defaults. And the button is missing, right? Because we are not putting the Telegram in this case, and the logo type, which is also styled based on the user preference. This is not shown. But if you want to do this, you can do this simply by doing that, and you can customize each component inside of your design. Yeah. So this is basically what I wanted to tell about the Konsta today. Well, basically it's that simple. There are no another,
tools like that.
No sharp turns, right? So this is very, very smooth.
Okay, perfect. So as we wrap it up, I'll go through the summary of the things that we talked about. Give me a second to share the screen, and we're good to go. Perfect. So as I mentioned, can you see? Yes, you can hopefully see my screen. Can you? Yes. Hopefully you can.
I don't see right now.
Oh,
No.
That's weird. That is so weird. Okay, give me a sec then. Share. How about now? Yes. Yes, now you can.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So as I mentioned, over this workshop, we discussed the main features of Telegram mini apps, the way to design them, and the way to engage with Telegram mini app ecosystem. My tech lead, Vlad, thank you so much. He went over Konsta. Konsta is one of the very few solutions that help you create adaptive apps within Telegram context without you having to spend hours and hours on making it happen. Just a couple of lines and you're ready to go. So hopefully for the first workshop, for the first introductory workshop in the ecosystem development, that was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, text me on Telegram, or find us our Ton Solutions English channel, where we share more resources and where we share updates about our products, as I think I mentioned in the beginning. So that is around the end of our workshop for today, but we're going to see you guys tomorrow and the day after, and a couple of more times as well. For tomorrow, we're going to go through Telegram cloud storage and how you can use that as a free instrument as for your database and for your caching solution. So that's going to be exciting because no one really talks about that. Yeah.
Awesome. Chris and Vlad, huge thanks to you guys for sharing your exercise and insights with us today. And of course, big thanks to all of you guys for joining us today. Remember, this is just beginning. And yeah, see you next workshop. And Chris, Vlad, could you share with us your GitHub repository?
Yeah, of course. I'll send it to you, and then you'll share in the chat, hopefully, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah,
okay, awesome.
I'll post it in our main group in Telegram. So yes,
Awesome.
Thank you very nice. Cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.